commitment isn't a trap. It's the very thing that will set you free. Because when you finally commit, when you finally decide that you're going to head in this direction, you're going to do this thing, right? You're going to make this thing happen, and that this is right for you, and you're going to go after your goal. When you finally decide, all of these different areas of your life begin to snap into place. But they don't snap into place when you're just like blowing like a tree in the wind, back and forth, and you can't make a decision, or you don't put the action behind what you said you were going to do. That's actually the trap of not committing, of not deciding. Limbo is not a place you want to be. You don't want to live in limbo of, well, maybe this thing, well, maybe that thing, well, maybe if I go this way, well, maybe if I go that way, because then you end up doing a whole lot of nothing. That's what happens when you don't commit. But when you do commit, this is where the gold is, right? When you do commit, you get into the depths of something. If you're trying to lose weight, when you finally commit, you start losing more and more and more and more pounds as time goes on, and eventually you reach your goal. If you have a business goal, if you have some sort of life goal, right? It's commitment that glues everything together, because you are committed to finding a way to making the thing that you wanted to do work. And that's when things begin to happen. Why do people not commit, right? It's pretty interesting. People believe that if you don't commit to something, right? If you just leave all of your options wide open, that somehow that will give you the flexibility to do something else in life. If the weather changes like it is right now, now it's snowing, and you can just, make a different decision. But the thing is when you go from this thing that you wanted to over there to that other thing that you wanted, you eventually do a whole lot of nothing, and nothing ever gets done. Like I say, if you're gonna dig a hole to China, you probably want to dig a hole in the same spot. And if you have these goals and if you have these dreams that you really want to make happen, you have to be willing to commit to them, to putting the action, to putting the sweat, the blood, and the tears into that thing. Or else, like I said, nothing will happen. And I've been here so many times. I've done it. I know exactly what it's like to be on the side of, well, maybe one last time of doing this. But then there's one last time happening every single time. Eventually, you have to put in the discipline and the commitment to making the very thing that you want happen. Or else it will just never happen. And it will constantly elude you for the rest of your life. And the last thing that you want is to get to a place in life where you start regretting not actually having gone for it. When you finally go for it, when you finally put in the energy and the effort towards making that thing happen, and you commit and say, I'm not going to be done with this until it is done, you begin to uncover the gifts. The gift of commitment is that you actually are somebody in this world that can make the things that they want happen. And there are very few of those people in this world. So commit. Decide what you want. Try not to decide on 1,000 things that you want. Find this one thing that you really, really want, and then create a plan, commit to it, and then go for it. And go for it, and go for it, and go for it, and go for it until you make it happen. If you do that, at least you will not get to the end of life going, man, well, what if? That's a pretty bad place to be. But if you go for it, at least you can say to yourself, I gave it everything I got. Whether it turns out or it doesn't, it's better to lead a life of courage than one of limbo. And limbo is the enemy. Don't be afraid to commit. Don't be afraid to put your effort in. Don't be afraid to move forward every single day.